Hey there, Stampers, and welcome to another Step It Up video. This is a card I saw some time ago, and I just saved it to my computer, and I wanted to make it, but I wouldn't spend the money on the mini library clips. So when I finally did, I'm so glad, because there are many cards that this little detail makes such a difference. You take it away and it's okay, but that detail just gives it some real pop and interest. So I was trying to figure out a way to use it for Step It Up. So I'm sorry, whoever originated, designed this card, brava to you, because I love it. But I just save stuff and then come back to it years later. But thank you for the inspiration. So here's the first card. And then I didn't do a whole lot, but I popped it up with a mat that matched this detail, and then a matching button here. Not a big difference, but this happens to be my favorite. Although I love the original card too. I like those little extra details. So that's 2, and then 3 was kind of hard for me. I couldn't quite figure it out. So I just mimicked this detail on the mat and then added actual ribbon. So I'm not going to show you all 3 cards because they're all basically the same. And I did do them in 3 different colors to give you an idea that you can play with, color, whichever, delights your eye. So let me go ahead and show you how I did these flowers. And I have them in various stages. So I used, this is the dotted ribbon scallop punch. And I use that for the trim detail and the matte detail on the Step 3 card. And then for the flowers, I used the 5-petal and the boho blossoms. I just punched out a bunch of the 4 colors, and then I decided on which ones to use. On most of them, I just used this one and this one. On a few, I added this 3rd piece, but I can't really tell you which ones I did. I just kind of played with it. So what you're going to want to do is, once you have your pieces punched out, you're going to mist them with water. And you want to do back and front. And you don't want them soaked, but that's still pretty wet. The paper absorbs it pretty quickly. And then you're going to scrunch it up. And yes, that is a technical term, scrunch. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And you're going to wad it into a little ball like that and put it aside. And then you're going to do this little one from Boho Blossoms as well. And you can see it's not perfect. See right there, I missed, and it's fine because it's going to be crumpled up. So if it's not a perfect punch, it's fine. I don't know that you want big chunks taken out, but you're just going to scrunch it up and set it aside. So last night when I was making these cards, I'm out of water. So this will be the last one I do. I actually spilled, I was doing aqua painter and other things, and I spilled all my medicine cup full of water. So I just took the paper and dabbed it in the puddle. I couldn't be bothered to get up and clean it up. I think I'm the messiest scrapbooker and card maker in America. Anyway, so that's what you do. You're going to make these little balls. And you can, depending on the level of scrunchiness you want, you can, these are still wet. I did these just before I started making the video. So they're still damp. What I don't suggest is what I tried to do last night is adhering these down while they're damp. Really the ones that dried, I made some yesterday, can you hear? They're pretty hard and crunchy. And so they're going to look like that. And what I did, so I have these, so leave these aside, let them dry for a half hour or so. It doesn't take too long. But these are the ones I'm going to work with. So now you know how to do it. You will have to set them aside because the adhesive, I tried a glue dot and it just peeled right off the damp surface. So that didn't work. So I end up using Crystal Effects. So you're going to want Crystal Effects for adhering that. And then I use 2-way glue to adhere. So this is what we're doing. We take a piece of crumb cake that is 8.5 by 5.5, and we fold it at 4 1/4, and then we trim 1/8 of an inch off the front flap. And then I took my piece of whatever color you're going to use. And I just dotted half of it with adhesive. I'm using two-way glue just because it's easy. And then I laid it on that little bit that we cut off. Just lined it up so one of the scallop dots is showing. I sort of just pressed it down gently, and then I turned it over to see how my eyeballing did. And then you can adjust it a bit as needed. And then really press. And then just with snips, I trimmed off the excess. Like so. Easy peasy. And then I set that aside. Then I'm using first edition designer series paper. This is 2 inches by 4.5 inches. And we're going to start putting our flowers down. So when I did, whichever color I used for the detail on the edge, I started with that flower. It's not a, you know, and a super important detail, but I just thought I would, I don't know why I did it. So since I used pink, we're going to start with the pink. And I took a good amount of Crystal Effects on the back, not tons, but, and then just sort of placed it like so. And then a little dot on this one. Sometimes I just use the excess that has come off, run down the edge. But you want to make sure it's going to stay in there. And then used my thumb to just press like that. And then we're going to go with green. This is the one I think I had a glue dot on and it ripped a layer off. But sort of place it. Remember, this is sort of the midline. I try to, when I cut my designer series paper, I try to leave that center bit midline so I always have a guide. And then the middle part. Orange. This is it. It's a really easy card, and any level of stamper could do this. If this is a look you like. Some people don't like it because it's messy and big crumpled flower, but I really like it. I think it looks old and bright and fun, and I like the contradiction of it looking old and bright. Everything's kind of scruffy right now with the vintage look, but this is sort of fun, I think. And I like the vintagey look too, but I like the contradiction of this one. So here we go. That's it. That is as difficult as this card is. Oh, I did use, oh, now I can't find it. Just For You from Just Believe, but you could do Thinking of You or whatever, you know, whatever sentiment strikes you. Happy birthday, and just a clean, that's I think the key for this one. You just want it clean and simple font and styling. You want to keep it clean and simple. And the last thing I did was use linen thread, and I just wound it. I got some glue on here. I wound it on the edge, and I don't typically like to do that. Usually I do a layer so it's not seen on the inside of the card and I don't have to finish the inside. But on this one I like the way it looked. And one little thing I did, and you probably can't even tell, is I created a little notch in the card base where I wanted the linen thread. And you don't have to do a big one, but I just sort of eyeballed where this was and came out just a bit. And I just took a little triangle notch. I even need my glasses to see it. Just like that. And that little notch will get filled with the linen thread, but it'll also keep it in place. If you're a perfectionist, you'll probably want to measure it, but if you're like me, you can just eyeball it and it's fine. So 2 little notches, and you don't have to, but I like that it stays and it doesn't fall and go everywhere. And then some linen thread. This is being difficult. It's underneath. That's because I'm going the wrong way. I'm trying to unwind the bottom bits. And I probably pull out more than I need, but I don't like to skimp when I'm trying to tie a bow. So I just wound it through, and you sort of want it to, justify to the right side. And with those little notches, it stays in place where you want it. And I tie a knot first to try and keep the tension on the piece that's staying in place. Probably not making a lot of sense, but just like so. And then I tie my bow. I'm sure you all know how to do this. You don't need a video demo of my lack of bow tying skills here. Ah, there we go. And then I pull it down, tighten it up, pull it down, tighten it up, and then snip, snip. Add your sentiment, and there you go. And of course your little library clip. If you didn't want to use such springy colors, you could go with more autumnal colors and then maybe use a black clip, and that would look cute too. I gotta pick up this edge. And I slip it between the 2 flowers, like that. And there you go. That one's in pink. This is my favorite bit. So here's the level 1, step 1, step 2, and step 3. I hope you found this helpful, and I'd love to see if you've done it in different colors. I love these kind of summery colors, but I think it'd look great in autumnal colors too. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye.